that's why I play games, because it's just a chance to have fun and to play.
Welcome to Cloudy with a Chance of Meeples, a channel of conversation and board games.
Hey, my name is Brent here on Cloudy with a Chance of Meeples. Today we're going back in time to junior high and science fair projects, some of the worst years of my life. Okay, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I wasn't the biggest fan of science. I like science now, but anyways, we're looking at a game all about creating homemade gizmos in the game Gizmos from Phil Walker Harding. This is a marble game, which you'll be collecting marbles to build different gizmos that will combo into huge combos. So let's show you how it plays. Radar overview coming up, then the final forecast. Cue the thunder. So the radar overview for Gizmos, here I have it set up. I have it set up in a pretty small area to get it into the frame, but this little marble dispenser will be sitting in the middle with these 3 rows of different types of gizmos. You have 3 levels. Level 1 costs, every card costs 1 marble. Level 2 is either 2 or 3 marbles, and then the highest one is either 4 to 7 marbles. On your turn, you'll be doing one of 4 things. You'll be either filing a card, you'll be doing your pick action, which would be picking a single marble. You'd be building a card, which would be paying the cost of the marble, and the cost is in the bottom left corner. So they range, as mentioned, from 1 to 7. Or the final thing you can do on your turn is you can do a research action. So let me explain what each of these 4 things do. So anytime you file a card, you would then run all of the gizmos in that line. So when you start the game, you have 1. So if you file a card, you then would be able to pick a random marble from the dispenser. Filing would be either taking a card, and you're pretty much just reserving it. You say, I'm taking this one, I'm filing it, putting it to the side, and then you'd pick a random marble. And you'd always, anytime you pick one of your 4 actions, you always run them down all the way, and you run every one of them. Second thing you can do on your turn is you could just straight pick a marble. So let's just imagine that I had this card built. There we go. And it actually cost me 1 yellow. So let's say I have this one. So if I do my pick action, again, I run all the gizmos there. If I pick a red one, I get a free one. So in this case, I pick a red one. These would scoot down, and I pick a random one. There you have it. You can only hold as many marbles as it shows here. You start the game being able to hold 5, but if you would ever do some upgrades, this would let you pick or let you hold 1 additional marble. You can also just build different gizmos. Third action is build. So again, take this, put it underneath where that action is. This would be a file. That will cost me 1 red marble. And then that will be the build action. And different ones have different effects. So for example, if I would have built this one first, anytime I would build a red or a blue marble, I would gain an additional victory point. I'll say also this, that the victory points are in the top right corner. So the cost is the bottom left. The victory points, how many points at the end of the game, is in the top right. So if that was there, and I would have built this red one, after I'd built this one previously, I would get an additional victory point. So as you can see, you'll be building these different combos and different gizmos that will just piggyback off each other. So there's a whole bunch of different ones. So this is a converter. Any blue, or 1 blue is any color. So that will go under your converter thing. The 4th action you can do is, it kind of goes hand in hand with the file action, and that is just researching. And this lets you draw the number of cards from one of the 3 decks equal to how many you're allowed to research. So when you start the game, you can research 1, or you can look at 3 cards, but if you build some of these other cards, then you'd be able to research 4. So I could take 4 of these cards. If I do my research action, I can look at them and I can pick any one of them. If I can build it immediately, I can do that, or I could then file it. So let's just say I would do this one. I would research, I would file this. I put it to the side by my research, and then I would, because I filed it, I would then run these gizmos. So because I filed it, I get a free marble, and because I filed, I get to pick a marble. So there you have it. I'd be able to have 2 blue marbles. So you continue to go around the table until someone builds 16 cards, including the one you start with, or if someone ever builds 4 of these level 4. And as you can see, they're different background, and there's some really cool ones. You know what? You actually only use 16 of these level 3 ones each game. You'll be playing with all the level 1 and level 2, but this one, anytime you build out of your file, gain 2 extra victory points. This costs you 4 blue, gets you 7 victory points, but you cannot file for the rest of the game. This one, you cannot research for the rest of the game, but it's worth 8 victory points. Lets you hold extra marbles. Anytime you build a red or a blue, you get 2 victory points. So if you would have this one on this, and then all of a sudden you build a red or a blue, you're getting 3 bonus victory points on every card that you build, so you can get some really sweet engines going. This, 1 victory point for every marble that you're holding in your reserve at the end of the game. Just a few of these. Anytime you build a yellow or a red one, you can then build a level 1 for free, which will just like make your engine just hum and just get to those 16 points or 16 cards that much further. Build level 2, 1 less marble. Build level 2, 1 less marble. So there's a whole bunch of different ones. Like I said, this is one of my favorites. Equal to the amount of victory points. So if you'd have something like this and this, at the end of the game, this could be worth like just an insane amount of points, because it's worth the number of victory points you have. So you're virtually doubling your victory points in that sense. So as you see, there's lots and lots of different cards, lots and lots of different combos that just all just dovetail so well together. So that is Gizmos in a nutshell. Let's check out the final forecast. So the final forecast for Gizmos, a 2 to 4 player game that has a pretty cool marble dispenser as the focal point of the game. I don't know what it is about marbles. There's just something about them. I love them. I love games that involve marbles, much like this one, Potion Explosion. It just reminds me of being a kid. And that's why I play games, because it's just a chance to have fun and to play. And I feel that sometimes as, you know, a dad, working, life, bills, payments, all sorts of things, you forget to play. And this game just invokes that, to play and have fun. This game starts off pretty slow. You only have that 1 file card or 1 file gizmo at the beginning, so you're going to start creating your engine. And as you get this thing going, it's so thematic. As you get this thing going, it's just going to like speed up this game so much. And you're going to have to watch out for that, because I feel that you can play this game, and if you're not watching what your opponents are doing, the game's going to be over before you know it. Because if, you know, someone across the table or even you yourself are building an engine that every time you build a yellow thing, you get a gain a marble, and if you pick a red marble, then you get to gain this. So you can get these huge combos going that will really progress the game. At the same time, there's some sweet combos like I showed on the radar overview, where you can just gain a whole bunch of victory points for building certain types. Of course, you have those converters that, you know, a yellow can be any other marble, or 2 yellows can be any 2, or like can be 2 red or 2 black or 2 blue, or whatever the case is. There's just so many different things in this game. The design in this game is absolutely fantastic. I love this game. It's one of my favorite games. There's just something to be said, and it's just so satisfying to have these huge turns. Like I said, you really got to watch your opponents, because if you're not, you're going to lose this game, because the arc of this game is slow. It's almost like a straight up climb, because the game's over before you know it. So overall, I wish more and more people would be talking about Gizmos. I know it came out 5 years ago. A lot has happened in 5 years. A lot of games have come out in the last 5 years. I'm wondering if maybe that's why Gizmos isn't talked about as much. now in 2022 versus back in like 2017, I believe, when it came out. It won Men's Select, so it's won an award, and yet no one's talking about it. So that makes me sad, because if you have a chance to play Gizmos or pick it up, I think it's really hard to find. I don't know if it's in between printings or what, but if you have a chance to play this game, I highly, highly recommend doing it, because it is an absolute hoot. So check it out. Gizmos, 90% Chance of Meeples. It's seriously that good. My name is Brent. Check us out on Facebook, Cloudy with a Chance of Meeples. Remember, grab your umbrella. The forecast is cloudy with a chance of meeples.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember to grab your umbrella, because the forecast is cloudy with a chance of meeples.